So to this point we have all of our sand that has been dried. It's been sitting here on this nice November cool afternoon, cooling off. So it's very cool to the touch, and you can see that I have a layer of sand in the bottom of this old barrel. And now I'm going to bring our apples over, and I'm going to start placing them inside of the barrel. And I think I'm going to put them on their side, that way that the indention on the top and the bottom there can get sand into them. So once again, we want to take that leaf off of there. We don't want anything organic in there. And once again, absolutely having no other instruction other than the reference said that you can store these for several months in dried sand. We're just experimenting here to see what is actually going to happen. So in a month or so, we are going to come back and look at these and see what they've done and how they're starting to fare, how long they will actually keep in this sand. So, all right, there we go. And of course, whenever we do this, we want to make sure that there's no bad damage to them. Of course, not being sprayed, not being using chemicals on them. See, that one there has a really bad spot, so I might want to trade him out with one here that doesn't appear to be quite so bad. So there will be bug bites and things of that nature, but that's definitely a rotted spot and will not probably keep as well as the others. And you can see there also there's a bad bruise on this one. All right then, now we are going to start slowly covering these up, making sure, just like probably what we would do whenever we go to salt meat or make salt pork, that we want the sand to cover them like we would the brine or the salt in that process as well. So here we go. Once we get them covered up with a layer of this sand, then I will kind of shake this half barrel down and see if we can't get that to cover up really well. So, all right, and I have a little bit more back here. This was the last batch that came off of the fire, so I'm going to really make sure that it's good and cool to the touch. All right. All right, there we go. So I'll kind of spread that out a little bit. And the process of hauling this on the wheelbarrow over to the basement will probably shake all of that down really nice and well. You can see I'm losing a little bit on the sides over here because the barrel is very dry. And we'll come back in a month and check it. We'll check it in 2 months. We'll check it in 3 months. See how long the apples last. All right, so on November 19th, we started our experiment of storing apples in dried sand. And I'm not going to dig them all up, but here today it is December the 17th, so we have almost a month later. And as you can tell, so far so good. A month later, we still have nice firm apples. So I have one apple there, and of course they're periodically placed around, but I can kind of feel through the sand and see that there's all still covered, and they all still feel very firm. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of them out of there, and as a little bit of a sacrifice here. And although he's got a spot on him right there, which is a bug spot, I'm going to get my knife and see. I would normally just bite into this, but I don't know what kind of animals have been on top of our sand there. But as you can see, we still have a fresh apple, although it's starting to get a little pithy, but it's still being preserved. So another month from now, we will check them again and see how many are still good.